Morning, everyone. My camera's a little off today, I think. No, maybe not. Okay. Looks like we've got about a minute until we're going to get started. So I will just hang on here. We have a lot attending today, so let everybody get logged in. We're still at about half, even though it's 9. I'm going to wait just a minute. So while we're waiting, there is the handout for today in your menu. So if you weren't able to get that, you can get it there. In addition, if you have questions today, you can ask them in the questions pod. You don't have to hold your questions till the end. I'm happy to answer those as we're going through the session. If you have something that's not related to Fund S, just hold it till the end, please. So we will be recording today. I'm sure we'll have that up by Thursday. So you can come back and watch it if you get interrupted or if you forget a part and want to come back and rewatch. Okay, it looks like we are kind of stalling here on our logins. So we will go ahead and get started. So I think I forgot to tell you, my name's Sarah with Harrisburg Project. I'm the lead trainer here. Again, if you have questions, you can ask them in the questions pod as we're going through the session. And your handout is uploaded as well. If you can't find it, look for the little icon with the piece of paper and the paper clip. That's where your handout's going to be. So, okay, we will go ahead and get started. We're going to talk about Fund S claims. We're going to talk about the due dates, where the approved schools are. This will be the calendar method for regular term. Summer will be manual method. So I threw in a screen for summer this year. So we'll have that. Claims entry, how you're going to do that, your reports, and then, of course, how you can get a hold of us if you need help. So Fund S are your separate public schools. So these are public schools that are approved. They have a daily rate that is approved by the Purchase Care Review Board. The operation of these schools, as far as the claim goes in iStar, is very similar to that of the Fund B or Fund F. So we have a daily rate that you are given and a maximum number of days enrolled that can be utilized as well. So the data is known. So we always talk about when we're looking at orphanage records for Fund E, do you know the cost or is it unknown? So here we know the cost, okay? So what you're going to provide is what that claim should be at the days enrolled for your children. So if it's all year, then it's going to be the max, okay? So pretty straightforward as far as this claim goes. You can only do this for the approved schools. We have a list of that on our website. I'll show those to you. But this is going to be due this year on August 14th. Last year was the first year for Fund S schools, and we had an extension on this. So we are going back to the statutory date. So August 14th this year, since the 15th falls on a Saturday. It's regular and summer term. So we're going to include our summer record. Don't forget, you have to add the separate summer record to include those summer days. Then you have corrections for the approvals. If you still have errors on those approvals, you'll be able to correct those August 15th through September 15th. Okay, so corrections will open after the 14th. But you cannot add any more Fund S records after the 14th. So approval corrections through September 15th, claims corrections through September 30th. So if you don't have your claims done on August 14th, that's okay. You just can't add anything after the 14th. So if you're not quite ready to do that claim, you don't have all your invoices, you're not sure how long the child went, you're not sure if they went all of summer term, any of those kinds of things, that's okay. We can still make corrections. Again, on the approval through September 15th, on the claim through September 30th. Okay, so these dates are back to what they used to be for private day, and now that includes separate public schools. So last year we had a 1-month extension on everything, not this year. All right, so keep note of that. It's going to be different than last year was, but that's how it will continue. The list of approved schools is on our website. It's going to be under hot topics right now. We will leave it there probably until, I would say, August, and then we'll be worrying about the new year, right? Well, I will probably leave it to the end of September through corrections, okay? So it's under hot topics, 25-26 approved Fund S programs. So that's what you're looking for. It's on our website. Again, this is going to show you for the 25-26 school year, the list of schools that are approved. If they're not on that list and you don't know why, you can call us and we can ask ISB why, but more than likely they didn't apply and you probably already know about that by now, okay? All right, so how do you find your Fund S students? Well, first of all, they have to be coded as Fund S to locate them. So that's the first thing you need to do. Have you coded your students as Fund S? So who would you be looking for? Well, Fund A students or Fund X students that are going to a special school. Do you have kids that go to cooperative schools? Right? Do you have kids at Kirk School? Do you have kids at Minor School? Do you have kids at Speed? Do you have kids at Echo School? Those are the kinds of schools that we're talking about. So if you have kids that attend there and they're not marked as S, you need to go look at the list on the previous slide and see if you should be coding them as Fund S. So, all right. Oh, did they moved the list? This was moved? I just took this picture last week. I did not know that. Okay, they're saying it's under miscellaneous on our website now. Okay, let me double check. I don't want to steer you guys wrong here. That shouldn't. Yep. Thank you. It is. It's under miscellaneous now. Thank you, guys. I know we've been working on our website a little bit. We're getting ready to get a new website. So they moved some things around to try to help the people. So yes, summer term has to be entered before the August deadlines as well. That's regular and summer due dates that we were looking at. Okay. All right. So to find your Fund S students, if you don't know who they are, you can go to your student and then go to analytics, type S in the fund code column, click the magnifying glass, and then click the shopping cart. That will open up those records in Student Central. So you will be able to go work on the claims if you're ready to. But you'll be able to identify the students by going to analytics. If you only have a handful and you know who those kids are, then you don't have to go through this process. But some of you have a lot of Fund S kids, okay? So if you have a lot, then that's how you're going to get them all pulled up when you're ready to do the data entry. This claim, again, is very straightforward. When you come in for regular term, it's going to be calendar method. You will select the calendar from the drop down for the school. If you need to look at the rate, click on this arrow. So if you need to look at the days and the rate, Click on the arrow. It will show you the approved dollar amount. You can go down and click update days. It's going to pull in the days enrolled, the days in session for this student. So it's going to look at the approval record to see were they there all year long or not. And then in the cost per pupil, you'll take the days enrolled times the dollar amount times the daily rate and type in that total. All right. You do not round. You do not include the cents. Just drop the cents. So truncate the number. Do not round. If you round, you will go over by $1 and you will get an error message. All right. So this is how you do the regular term claim. Again, if you don't know what the rate is, click on this little arrow. It will open up the data page and show you the approved rate. If you open that page and you do not see an approved rate, then that means that it hasn't been approved yet and that hopefully that school is going to be approved at the July meeting. That's the final meeting. So it's the first Tuesday in July, I believe. Okay, so this is regular term calendar method only because we have regular term calendars, right? We don't have summer term calendars for publics. So remember, these are public schools. Even if it's a co-op, it's still public. It's not a therapeutic day. It's not a private facility. So for summer term, we don't have calendars. So what the school supplies is a maximum number of days. So you're going to look again. It will tell you the maximum number of days. You're going to take the days enrolled times the approved rate and type in that cost per pupil. All right. So this information page, when you click the arrow here, it tells you the number of summer days that are approved. So you're able to put those in if you're going to have a summer record. So again, for summer term, you type the days in. Type the days enrolled and the days in session. And then it's the days times the rate. Do not round up, truncate the number, drop the cents. Again, if you round up, you're going to be too high by $1, and the system's going to know that. So you're going to get an error message. Okay, do I have any questions about data entry for regular or summer term? Both of these are due on August 14th with corrections again through September 15th and September 30th. Okay. It's pretty straightforward, especially compared to some of the trainings we've been having lately and the other claims. So pretty simple. You have a lot of time to do this, but I always try to get at least one run of a training in June in case you don't have to work next month and you want to take care of it, things like that. So as far as the report goes, it's the same reimbursement report. You're going to do student reimbursement by fund. When it asks you the type, you'll select separate school. So under reports, your categories, reimbursement and claims. So this claim is reimbursed after you spend 2 times your per cap. So most per caps were loaded Friday night. You should be seeing that announcement. If you haven't already, I think it was in our news briefing yesterday. So per caps are out. As far as I know, for everyone. So once you spend 2 times that, then you get reimbursed for these kids at a proration. I think last year the proration was 66%. Don't quote me. So you get some money for the kids. These are mostly former excess cost kids, and we all know excess cost has not been paid. This will be the 5th summer it hasn't been paid. So, you know, this is something to kind of help fill the void a little bit. Okay. All right. Do I have any other questions about this claim? Yep. 2 records for these kids if they went to summer, one for regular and one for summer. You can do an end add. The rollover will take the summer record if it does not have an end date on it, and it will turn it to a regular record in the new year. So the rollover will go well also with this. So yes, 2 records, one regular, one summer. Regular is calendar method, summer is manual method. And the reason we have to do this is because, again, we do not have summer calendars. Those are not required for public entities. So it's a little bit different than our private days where they have to submit a summer calendar. This may evolve and change over the years. You know, it always can. Things can change, but right now that's the way it is. Preschool students are not included as Fund S students, correct? There's nothing that says they can't be Fund S. So no, that's not correct. If they go to an approved school for preschool, then they can be Fund S. You're welcome. What would be the reason for the end add? You can do an end add to create your summer record, just to make it easier. So you can, if you haven't made your summer records yet, you can do an end add on the regular record to add the new summer record. So you don't have to add it from scratch. A 20, just a change, would be your end code. It's just the fastest way to make a summer term record is to do an end add on the regular term record. You're going to have to end the regular term record anyway, or you're going to have an overlap. So I'll wait a few minutes, see if you guys have any other questions. For once, you guys get a little bit of a break on this one. Okay, to check the daily rate, you're going to click on the arrow next to the calendar name. You're not going to get an error if you exit someone for regular term. Does the approved number of days, summer days, populate on its own? No, you have to type those in for summer. That's why we have a separate summer record, is because we don't have summer calendars. So you type those days in. These students should be in S the whole year. I mean, if that's where they were attending the whole year, then they should be in S the whole year, yes. There is not a submit button. The data is just picked up. So if you've got it, if you have the data entry completed and you're finished, then, and you don't have any errors, then you're good to go. You don't have to worry about it. So no, there's no submit button. You may change Fund X to Fund S, as in Sam. Yes, that could be a possibility. It has to be an approved school, though. So if they were going to a separate public school as a Fund X, and now that is an approved Fund S school, then yes, you would want to change those. But I'm not saying, it's not a blanket statement that every X can be an S. That may not be an approved school that they're going to. They may have been a public kid that was just in your district that was really expensive. Okay, so it's just not every X just needs to be changed to an S, but could. What exit code do you use for an end ad? For this one, you're using a 20. It's a change. If there is no rate information yet, then if you're looking at a school and you don't see it yet, then there's one meeting left in July. I know Echo is on that agenda for July, if you're looking at Echo kids. Okay, preschool students have to be 5 to be included, correct? I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, preschool students are age 3 to 5. So they don't have to be 5 to be included as Fund S. We don't exclude them if they're older than 5 in a preschool program either. So again, we do not have an exclusion for age for Fund S. They just obviously can't be over 22. So 3 to 22. I see hands are raised. If you guys are wanting to talk, you can go ahead and unmute, but I think that it's an accident. All right, to be a S Fund 04 is the EE code. That's not true. We do not limit to 04. We do not have a limitation of 04 for Fund S. All right, if our preschool students are in a co-op and the placement school is not on the drop down for serving, does that mean these schools were not approved for Fund S? More than likely, that should be the case. Double check that list to make sure, but more than likely, iStar should match the list that's on our website. So you do want to be sure, but not every single school that's in co-ops was approved. Okay, build a size session. So these schools, at least for this year, for the first 2 years, they can invoice you whatever they want. They do not have to abide by that daily rate. So what you are being billed is not going to necessarily match the maximum approved rate. So for the first 2 years, they got some time to adjust. So your invoices are not necessarily going to match what you were charged. They are lobbying to get to do that one more year, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah, so the question about the pre-K kids and the 04 versus I think it's 23. 23 is acceptable too. So we are not limiting this to school age kids for Fund S. EE is based on grade and age. So if you have a 4-year-old that's in kindergarten, we still require the early childhood code for them until they turn 5. So it's not just grade level. It's also based on age, but none of that has anything to do with Fund S. It does not change anything. If they have I think that little kid code is the equivalent of a 04 is 23. So a 23 is acceptable. No, you have to claim the state rate. Okay, you cannot claim. So if Kirk School charged you more than what the approved amount is, you can't claim that. You can only claim the approved rate times the days. So if they charged you more, you aren't going to recoup that. Okay. You have to put in the state rate times the number of days. Okay, good deal. I don't know I know that there were some 2-year approvals, but I don't know that that includes the rate. I don't know for sure. You'll have to ask ISB about that, funding about that, because I don't know if you did the financial piece for that covered 2 years, if that did, or if it was just the approval process. So they're two different pieces. So I don't know if they have to go up in front of the Purchase Care Review Board every year, or if again you were able to get a dual year, 2 years on that. Okay, yeah, the Approved Fund S programs got moved on me. It's under miscellaneous on our website. It's not under hot topics. So sorry about that. I did not know. We need 2 records, one for regular, which we will not end. No, regular term needs to have an end date. So if you have a regular term record right now that's Fund S, you will do an end ad on that record. You will end that record the last day of school with a reason for exit of 20. And then your new record you will mark as summer term. If you want the record to roll over, you keep the summer without an end date. It will roll over and change to regular term in the new year automatically. So you guys just do a normal end ad and let your summer term record roll. Okay? You bet. Good questions, guys. Everyone knows the questions are the best part. Okay, I don't see any more questions coming in about the claim, but I do have some other questions, okay? So if you need to get going and you can't stick around, that's fine, I understand. We'll catch you at the next training, and then I'm going to hang on here and answer a couple of other questions.